Yo, what's going on, people? We are back with another episode of the podcast. So to start off, we got a little ad read. Uh, wannaparlay.com sponsors the show. Um, Probably seen on TikTok and stuff, but go to wannaparlay.com. It's WANNA parlay.com. Use promo code JMP. Get you 100% deposit match, $10 to $250. Uh, Use that on the championship games this weekend. Go make some money on some games that are pretty relatively easy to predict, besides like maybe one or two of them. And then go make some money on Sunday as well, because there's a lot of shitter games and a lot of good games. One of the better slates of the year for the NFL. But we're going to jump right into this stuff. Last night, we had the Cowboys and the Lions. My predictions for the primetime games have not been great. I picked the Cowboys to win, unfortunately. Well, not really unfortunately, because I don't like the Cowboys. And also not unfortunately because Jahmyr Gibbs had 3 touchdowns. Really helped me in fantasy. But yeah, the game started off, both defenses on the first couple of drives were playing really good, getting a lot of pressure. And then Dak somehow got sacked for safety, and then they changed it into not being a safety, which I don't understand because, I mean, I get that after they showed the second view of it, but I don't know why they didn't show that view the first time. Doesn't really make any sense. Because the view they kept showing was like an angle that was almost right down the line, and then they showed one that was like above and straight down the line, way after everybody, they already had called what it was, which is why everybody was like, why are they calling that? So, I don't know. They don't make no sense. And then when CD gets hurt, somehow George Pickens doesn't play good at all, even though he's like the second leading receiver in the league. But it did open up for Flournoy, I think so you say his name. He had a wide open touchdown in this game. And then, why is this on? No. There we go. But yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is seeming to be more of a receiver than he is a running back, which I don't mind. I think it's good because it gets their passing game rolling as well. I mean, it's basically like when you throw those short passes, extension of the run game. Might as well do it. And it opened up their run game a little bit too because Gibbs, I mean, I think in the first half he had like 7 carries for like 19 yards. I mean, he only finished with 43, but I mean, he had 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, you take it. But Amon-Ra also seemed to be not hurt at all. He got the ball the first play of the game, opened it up, and then he had like the game sealing catch as well. And then obviously Jahmyr Gibbs runs in for a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good game, honestly. It was a shootout. Finally had a good shootout on a Thursday or even a Monday. I don't even remember. No, I think there's been some on Monday, but there hasn't really been too many on Thursday. It's actually a pretty good game. But yeah, the turnovers were really killing the Cowboys because Dak threw a pick straight out of halftime, and then Jake Ferguson fumbled. Like, I think that was like right before halftime, maybe. Was that right before halftime? Let's see, where's that? No, it was not right before halftime. It was 6 minutes left. But yeah, he fumbles, and then obviously the Lions get it and go and score. I think that was Dave Montgomery's, yeah. And I mean, it was a field goal fest for the Cowboys. I think Aubrey had like 5, and I think it was he was almost if he had made like one more field goal for like 40 yards or something, would have had like 300 yards in field goals. Dude is absolutely automatic. It is unreal how good that dude is, and also, the Lions secondary, which is really bad news, got even worse after yesterday because they said that Brian Branch tore his Achilles yesterday, and they lost Harper, I think he got carted off. Avonte Maddox was flying around a little bit though, but you really hate to see your best, probably one of your better defensive players, not your best, Brian Branch and Aiden Hutchinson, not Adrian. I don't know why I said that. Aiden Hutchinson. Probably your 2 best, and then maybe Jack Campbell's up there as well. But it's really unfortunate to see Brian Branch tear his Achilles. You just hate to see injuries like that. They're really brutal. Happens all the time for some reason nowadays. I feel like it didn't happen as much back in the day, but it has been a lot more It's probably because of the fields, because like all NFL players say, if you listen to them, grass fields are way better, but the owners don't want to have the upkeep for it. And Dak, he's kind of, I don't know, he's seeming like he's going back to like not playing super good. He's been playing good all year. I mean, I know you can have a bad game, but 2 picks is unfortunate for him. And Goff, I mean, he only threw 1 touchdown. It was to Tesla, I think. I think it was Tesla, yeah. But Jameson Williams had a good game. If they can use Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra like they were last night, they're going to be really hard to stop, because Jameson Williams might be the fastest human ever to put on football cleats, especially when he's like, what, 6'2" or 3", I think. He's massive, and he's fast. But CD also gets hurt, which really does not help. I think he like hit his head when he was trying to. I don't remember what happened, but he hit his head when he was trying to catch the ball, I think. And then he had to leave, which is really shitty because he'll probably be out next week. But I don't think it really matters, because I think they said with the Lions loss, they had like a 9% chance to make the playoffs. And now with the Lions winning, I think it said they had like a 55% chance. So that really helped them out. And then Gibbs the dude, he just scores. I think he either tied or passed Barry Sanders for the most touchdowns for any player, like not a quarterback, obviously, but like him actually scoring a touchdown before turning 24, I think. I think it was 46, and I think now he has 47. He might have 46 and be tied with him. I don't remember if he tied or passed him, because I know. No, he tied it. Okay, yeah, he tied it. My bad. I just now read it. And like I've been saying the last couple weeks, every week it seems like Gibbs and Bijan have kind of been going back and forth on who's going to be the best running back in the league. And then Gibbs comes out, and he didn't have a crazy amount of yards, but he had 7 catches for 77 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Dave Montgomery also had a touchdown where he just could not get tackled for some reason. Was just bouncing off people. And then the Lions kick returners were balling too. What's his name? Tyler Kennedy or something? I think that was his name. Tom Kennedy, that's what it is. He was just getting crazy returns every time he got it. Like, I think that he had 3 kick returns for 120 yards. So he averaged a 40-yard return every time. And then the other guy had 5 for 141. So he's averaging 30, which isn't bad, because most of the time they're kicking it to like the in between the 5 and the ends, like where the end zone's at. Somehow the kickers are dumb accurate at putting it right between the 5-yard line. But the Cowboys defense, it looked like it kind of reverted back to what it was before Quinnen Williams got there, and like they did all the trades and stuff, because I think for the past 3 weeks they were 14th or 16th in points allowed, and like 14th or 16th, because I forget which one it was, in I think it was yards allowed total. So they somehow just all of a sudden fall back into where they were, because I don't even think the Lions turned the ball over. But the Cowboys turned the ball over 3 times, or once, or not once, twice. No, fumble, yeah, because Ferguson fumbled, yeah. So they had 3 turnovers. Dak also fumbled, but I guess he picked it up. Don't recall that happening. But not good for the Lions with, or not the Lions, sorry, the Cowboys losing, because they're basically out of the playoffs now, because the only way they could have got in is winning their division. And they were, I think, 2 games behind the Eagles, because the Eagles are 8-4? The Eagles are the Eagles 8-4? I can't remember. I don't know, but either way, they're pretty much done with that, because the tie kind of is not helping them right now. Because if they had 1 more win, then they'd have 7 wins, obviously. But it's unfortunate for the Cowboys, but nobody cares, because it's the Cowboys, and we don't want to see them in the playoffs. We did want to see them win against the Chiefs, but we don't want to see them in the playoffs. And then for the Lions, it really helps them with the playoffs. I think the team in right now, with the last seed, is the 49ers. They're 9-4. They're pretty much gonna have to. They should. It'd be nice if they played each other, but I don't think they do. But the Lions are gonna have to win out and hope that the 49ers drop 2 games, or the Packers, because the Packers have been on and off on being good. Which this would be a big game if they do lose it, because they play the Bears this week. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on that game. It was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. Besides, like honestly, when I'm watching the Cowboys, I don't even mind watching Brandon Aubrey kick. So because he makes everything look so fucking easy. He kicked a 63-yarder. Looked like he barely even tried to kick it. Oh, I didn't even know he played football still. But yeah, I think that'll be it for the Thursday game, and then we're gonna jump right in to the 1 o'clock slate for this week. So the first and hopefully the probably be one of the better games of the week. Somehow, with even Joe Burrow back, the Bengals are +6 on the Bills. But I mean, and we also don't have Trey Hendrickson because I don't think he's playing the rest of the year. They haven't announced if Kincaid's playing. They say he's questionable still, so I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. But Bosa's out. They got Terrell Bernard out, so their defense is going to be hurting. And also, well, their secondary's got a lot more healthy. You know, we need Joe Burrow to keep up his record of playing good in December. I mean, like they said it on Pardon My Take. Joe Burrow in the last 365 days to the date of December 2nd, I believe is what it was. He is 8-0 when he is playing. So that's pretty nice. Hopefully he can keep that up. Maybe we get all the way through December and we win all of our games and we have a chance to win the division. That would be fantastic. Even though I basically gave up on the season early in the year, it was because Jake Browning. And then Joe Flacco came in, kind of got a little more hope. We won his third game against the Steelers. And then we didn't win it. We won one game when Joe Burrow was out. So that's fantastic. And then we're really hoping that the Bengals can play good against the Bills. They're the number one pass defense in the league. But Joe Burrow also plays really good against the Bills. I think he's like 2-0 or 2 or 3-0 against them or something. I could be wrong. That's what I thought I saw. Could be completely wrong. But the Bengals defense, they got to hopefully figure that out. I mean, we're last in points allowed still. Last in yards, last in passing yards. Second to last in rushing yards allowed, which is crazy. I don't know who allows more rushing yards than us. Also, third to last in sacks. But we have turned the ball over, but that was also like the first 5 weeks of the year that we got most of these interceptions that we have. And we got, because I think we had 10 turnovers as of the Ravens game, and now we have 15, and half of them were fumbles. But the Bengals defense, it looked alive once Joe Burrow came back. And even when Joe Burrow was playing earlier in the season, the defense looked a lot better. I mean, the first couple of games of the year, we didn't allow that many points. We won both of our games because we played the Browns and the Jaguars. Hopefully, Bengals D can keep that up. And we're really hoping that the Bills don't look great. I mean, they haven't looked amazing the last couple games. They just beat Pittsburgh. Offense didn't look crazy good. Lost to Houston. Their offense didn't look good. The last game their offense looked really good was against Tampa, where they scored 44, but that was because Josh Allen turns into Jesus when he just like randomly some weeks. Like that game, he had 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. Don't see that happening against us, but I will say that James Cook probably will shit on us because if we're not wrapping up the tackle, we're going to have some problems. And the thing that sucks too is those 2 losses against the Jets and the Bears are really going to come back and haunt the Bengals because 2 games they should have won, and if we did win them, we'd be 6-6 right now, and we would be tied for first in the division. Actually, we'd probably be first because we beat the Steelers once, so we'd probably, I don't know if it'd go to common opponents or whatever, but I know it'd go to division, and I think we'd be first because we've only lost 1 division game, and that was to the Steelers. So we would be probably in first place if that was the case. But, can't fucking beat the Jets and the Bears when you're scoring 40 points a game. Hopefully Josh Allen doesn't turn into the second coming of Jesus Christ this week, and James Cook probably will have a good amount of rushing yards against us because he is very good, probably top 5 running back in the league. And the Bills also average the most rushing yards per game in the league, which is not going to be good for the Bengals because we are terrible at it. And the Bills also are first in time of possession and we're 27th. So we'll see. Hopefully the Bengals can win because this is our last. We have 2 more games to win that we have cupcakes basically the rest of the year. I mean, obviously it's NFL. No game is really like a easy win. But the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and the Browns should be wins. But Jacoby Brissett's also been putting up 700 yards a game. So, yeah, hopefully the Bengals win. I will be very sad if they lose, but I think it'll be a great game to watch. Definitely a game that everybody's going to want to tune in for. But this is also a really good slate of games. There's other games that you probably will have on because the Bengals realistically aren't in it, but they could be. All they got to do is hope to see the Ravens only win 2 more games the rest of the year, and the Steelers only win. I think the Steelers have to win 3 is the most they can win, which how they've been playing. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't win the rest of the year. But it is Mike Tomlin and it is the Steelers, and everybody's telling him to give that he should be fired and all this shit. So somehow they'll probably end up beating the Ravens this week, especially if Lamar is looking like how he did. Then we'll move on to the next one, which is a really shitty game. But the Dolphins and the Jets. The Dolphins, they got to keep up their hot streak. They're what? They've won 4 out of their last 5, I believe. Is that correct? Where is this at? Yeah. They've won 4 out of their last 5. They've played two good teams and then 3 kind of shitty teams. I mean, they beat Buffalo, which was a big win. That feels like forever ago, but I guess it was not. It was only 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was 4 weeks ago because they had a bye week in between there. But I think the Jets honestly have a pretty good chance of winning this game because they've looked significantly better when Tyrod's been playing. It seems like Justin Fields, when he was playing, he has like the yips, but for throwing the ball. And it's not like he can't throw it for 1, and 2, he just seems like he's scared to throw it. I mean, they're last in passing yards a game at 169, which is insane that they're only averaging 169 yards a game. But it's going to be tough for them because Devon Achane has been playing so fucking good. Dude is unreal. They're going to have to figure out how to get the Dolphins to not use him as much, which is going to be hard because he's their offense. Like, he is the only reason that they do anything on offense at all. Like, he has 6 rushing touchdowns this year and 4 receiving. So he's looking pretty good. I think he's the only player in the league with 5 rushing and 3 receiving touchdowns or something like that. Some kind of stat I saw. Not 100% sure. But if the Jets come out and win, I can probably say that their fans will be a little pissed off because they want to keep that higher draft pick. I mean, I know they have, 2 or 3 this year, first rounders, but if I'm a Jets fan, I'd be pissed if we won, even if we have 3 first round picks. You want to keep a higher, when your team just got completely taken apart at the trade deadline, you want to have your good draft picks, and it's going to suck for the Jets fans if they end up winning this game. But I honestly think they have a really good chance to win the game. The Dolphins are -3. It's a division game, so anything can happen. And whoever you think is going to win in a division game, there's a good chance that the opposite happens. They've already played once. The Dolphins won, but I definitely can see them splitting because like I said, it's a division game, and it's going to be probably tight. Honestly, it'll probably be a high scoring game because they're both really bad at everything, and every time really bad teams play, it seems like they score a lot. But A.D. Mitchell's also coming off a career game. If he can do that again this week, which I doubt, but it'll be easier with Tyrod because he actually throws the ball. It'll be nice for them. Because obviously the players want to win because they're playing for their jobs, whether they go in 16 and they're like, oh, we got a good draft pick. Well, that means you're probably getting rid of some people too, especially when half of your team is a bunch of nobodies for the most part. I mean, they're two starting receivers at the moment because Garrett Wilson's out. It's fucking John Mechie and Adonai Mitchell, or AD Mitchell, whatever. But I mean, the Jets. It seems like they found a way to win. Is just don't play Justin Fields. They seem to win or play at least a lot better when he's not playing. I think he was Tyrod's first. I think it was Tyrod's first game this past week that he was announced as being the full-time starter, and they won. I mean, they won on a game-winning field goal, but they still won. All you got to do is find ways to win. And it's going to be bad for the Jets, which is that the Dolphins, their defense is kind of figuring it out. Because in the last, since week 10, the Dolphins are allowing the least amount of points in the league at 14.3. I mean, the last 5, which I think would be week 10, they've allowed 10, 28 to the Ravens, which that was Thursday night game that they played really bad. 13, and 17. I mean, they haven't played amazing teams, but I mean, they're not allowing points, and they're playing another not amazing team this week. And it's not like their schedule's insanely hard in the next 3 weeks. I mean, they got the Jets this week, then Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, which I think we should beat them, but you never know. The Bengals defense could go back to being dog shit and not play how it's been playing. And they play Tampa and New England, so those are probably 2 losses. I mean, they don't really have any playoff hopes because there's a really low chance that they do make it, but they could. But I think the Jets have a really good chance to win this game. I'd probably take the Jets +3, but, it's kind of a toss-up. You don't know if Tua is going to play good. You know A-Chain is going to play good, but Tyrod also has been playing pretty good when he's played. I mean, better than Fields anyways. So, and also the Jets, somehow, it's week, 14? They're going into week 14, and the Jets have no interceptions on the whole season. That makes no fucking sense at all. How the fuck do you just not have an interception the entire season? I think it's like one of the longest streaks ever of not having an interception. And there's just to start the season, and it's week 14, which is fucking nuts. But yeah, moving on from that game, we'll go to a significantly better game to watch, mostly just because it's a division game and one of the biggest rivalries in the league. The Steelers and the Ravens. So the Steelers are 6-point underdogs. But with how Lamar's been playing, I don't really know if it's gonna matter. And it's also the Steelers and the Ravens. I think I had a stat on here. Steelers have won 8 of the last 11, but 19 of the 38 games between Harbaugh and Tomlin have been 3-point decided between from 3 points or fewer. So it's probably going to be a tight game. Probably be a defensive game. It normally is, because especially if it's going to be a high-scoring game, that's a game the Steelers are probably losing because they don't score a lot. I mean, the most they scored is against the Bengals and against the Colts, and they had like a shit ton of turnovers against the Colts, and they had two defensive touchdowns against the Bengals. And they just got absolutely waxed by the Bills and lost to the Bears when I don't remember how that game was. But we're going to see, I guess, if Lamar is actually looking healthy this week. I feel like he's probably not. I think this season he doesn't have a rushing attempt over, I think it was either 20 or 30 yards, which is weird for Lamar. But, I mean, he's playing. If he's on the field, there's really no excuses. You listen to NFL players talk. They say if you're playing, you're not hurt. Everybody's not 100% after training camp starts, basically. So you just gotta play and play good. But the Ravens defense has been on and off on if it's good or not. I mean, they just allowed 32 points to the Bengals. I know Joe Burrow just came back, and they were on like 4-1 or something in the last 5 before that, and now they're 4-1 again in their last 5. But they also were playing a couple of shitty teams when they did win those games. I mean, they played the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns, and the Jets. I mean, they also played the Bengals, who are shitty. Joe Burrow coming back definitely changes a little bit. This is going to be a tight one. I'm hoping that – hold on. Let me see who they both play the rest of the year. Yeah, the Ravens have a tough schedule the rest of the season. So hopefully the Steelers can win this one, I think. Let's see. Because they can only win 3 games. They play Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore. So hopefully the Steelers lose this game. And then the Ravens lose against us, obviously, and New England and Green Bay. And they can beat Pittsburgh last week. Yeah, I'm hoping that it goes the Bengals' way, which this game, it doesn't really matter until the next couple weeks. But the Steelers also have a decent amount of injuries on their defense. And they also just got rid of Darius Slay, which I don't think he's really been playing good anyways. The games I've watched, like full-on watched the game, Darius Slay was getting torched a lot, which I don't really know why they signed him. He was not playing good. I forget what team he was on before the Steelers for some reason. But I think it might have been the Eagles. But he was not playing good before that anyways. Wasn't sure why they signed him. I mean, they have a good young cornerback with Joey Porter. They just traded for Jalen Ramsey. They also have Beanie Bishop, who was playing good last year, and then they put him on the practice squad. So I'm not really sure why they would do that, but, whatever. And it's going to be tough, too, because Aaron Rodgers, I think, is playing this week, and he just got hurt again last week, came back in. He has not looked good all season, really. They're the 27th in passing yards a game. They're only averaging 199.7. Ravens are averaging 199.8. But Aaron Rodgers, he's got to hope to not re-injure himself. But even when Mason Rudolph came in, he didn't look good either. I mean, he came in and threw a pick on his third play, and then the next drive, I think Rodgers was back in when they played the Bills. But the Steelers also got to figure out how to stop the run, because last game against Buffalo, was that his game they gave up? Was it this game? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm drawing. It was this game. So they just gave up 249 rushing yards to the Bills last week. So they're going to have to figure out how to stop Derrick Henry. But knowing the Steelers, these are the type of games they get up for, and they will play a good defense. Especially because these two teams hate each other. I mean, the whole AFC North seems to hate each other. Sorry. But, I mean, most of the games in our division, for the most part, are really tight. They're really, really aggressive, and people just go out trying to kill each other. But another thing, too, is the Steelers last week, they let the Bills have the ball for 42 minutes. If they do that against the Ravens, there's zero chance they're winning. But the Steelers are also 5-4 against Lamar. So, and they normally play Lamar really good, and they because they blitz a lot. Lamar's normally good against the blitz, but how the Steelers go at him, I don't know what they do different than most teams, but they seem to be a team that is able to get at Lamar. And the Steelers also cause turnovers, and if the Ravens are doing what they did last week, they're going to be turning the ball over because they looked bad. Nobody on their team could hold on to the ball. Like Lamar had 2 fumbles, a pick. Zay Flowers had a fumble, and then who else had a fumble? Was it Lamar had 4? Zay, yeah, can't remember. Something like that. But, I mean, whoever is winning this game, they're in the lead for the AFC North. And, I mean, it'd be the greatest thing that could happen is somehow they tie. Because then the Bengals, if they win this week, we got a real good chance to win the division. But obviously, a tie is very unlikely unless neither team scores the whole game. That'd be cool. It's like a 0-0 tie. I would love. But the Ravens also just signed Mark Andrews to an extension. I think it was 3 years, like 30-something million, which is, I feel like, a bargain for Mark Andrews. I know he's kind of on and off on if he's good or not, but when he's on, he is really good. I know they also don't throw the ball a crazy amount, but when Lamar is fully healthy, he is like Mark Andrews is his guy. Him and Zay are his go-to receivers. If Mark Andrews comes off this contract and is playing good, then that'll be good for them because they fucking need it. Their offense looks terrible. I mean, the most points they've scored in the last 5 weeks is 28, and that was against the Dolphins. They haven't scored 30 in the last 5 games, and they've played no good teams, really. The best defense they played, they put up 23. So we'll see how they do. I think I think the Ravens will probably win, but I think it's going to be tight, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But it will be a lot of running the ball. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. Then we'll go on to the next one. Buccaneers and the Saints, another division game. I think there's a decent amount of division games this week, but Tampa, they should win this. They need to win it. They said Mike Evans isn't playing this week. Jalen McMillan's not playing. Tristan Wirfs is questionable, which would be really bad for them. But I don't think the Saints have that great of a pass rush, so it wouldn't really affect them too much. But Tyler Shuck, he's not been playing bad, but he's also not been playing amazing. He is definitely, I don't see him being the quarterback of the future for them. But the Saints also, unless they're trying to play spoiler, which if you're a bad team and you have a good draft pick like the Saints, I mean, they're basically like in line to get the number 2 or like number 2 to like 4 pick or something, because I think there's a couple teams with 2 wins. But like, just like with the Jets, if you're a Saints fan, your fans are definitely wanting you to lose. I always say, like, if the Bengals are bad and I want them to lose, I do want them to lose, but I'm still going to cheer for them to win. If they win, I'm going to be happy. If they lose, I'll probably still be happy. If they're playing, if they're as bad as they are. Like the season the Bengals went 2-14 or whatever, and we got Joe Burrow. I wasn't too mad about us losing. I also went to the only 2 games that we won that year, which was funny. And we also, the only 2 teams we beat that year were I think it was the Jaguars and, it was the Jets and the Browns. So, yay, and, hopefully Bucky, another week back, getting more healthy. I say getting more healthy, but you're playing, getting hit hard every week. You're not going to be fully healthy, but he's going to be more healthy probably than he has been because he hasn't played but 1 game in the past 12 weeks. It's not 12 weeks because he played, I think his last game was week 4, but the Buccaneers really need Baker to play good, again, especially against the Saints team that, I mean, they don't allow a lot of yards and they don't allow a lot of passing yards, but I mean, it's mostly like the Saints. I don't know. I don't understand the Saints really. They sometimes will show up for games and their defense isn't really like playing insanely bad, but the turnovers that they get, like their offense gives up, fucks them. Because last time they played the Bucs, I don't even think the Buccaneers scored an offensive touchdown and they won 23-3. So if they can limit the turnovers, they could probably keep it close, but I don't see them winning. It's also a division game, so they could win. Division games, like I said, always tight. It's like this game will probably be tight, even though the Saints are one of the worst offenses in the league in terms of scoring. They have a lot of passing yards, but it's probably because they're losing every game and they just are slinging the ball to try and get back in it. They never keep time of possession. They're 31st in the league in time of possession, which is not good. It's probably mostly because they don't have a running game, which Alvin Kamara has never been a crazy good runner of the ball. But you have Devin Neal, who he's a rookie. He could possibly be good. We don't know. I really like Kondre Miller, but I think he's on IR or something. But I think that the Saints should win. Or not the Saints. I don't know why I said that. The Buccaneers should win. But they did open the practice window for Mike Evans. So it'd be cool to see him come back. Sucks he's losing his 1,000-yard streak. But, he's getting older. It's going to be harder to stay on the field. But it'll be, Ibuka, hopefully he has a comeback game because I know he didn't play good last week. But they won, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're 8.5-point favorites. I think they should win. It'll probably be a high-scoring game because the Bucs defense hasn't been amazing. It was good for a while, but they've been giving up a pretty hefty amount of points the last couple weeks. And they gave up 28, 44, 34. And then they played the Cardinals. They gave up 17. God damn, my throat. Sorry. Anyways. I think they can win, the Buccaneers. I think it'll be I still think it'll be a tight game just because it's a division game, and the Saints, they really don't have anything to play for. So they'll probably come out doing stupid shit and try and win the game. But yeah, not much really on that game. Besides, I think that the Buccaneers should win. Hopefully, Mike Evans can come back and play this year. We're gonna move on to another division rival or division matchup, though. One that is not looking good for the Colts. So the Colts are favored by 1.5, but the Colts have not won in Jacksonville, I think, since 2014. So, well, they haven't beat Jacksonville when they're the home team since 2014 because I think one of the times they played it was in London. And they also officially ruled Sauce Gardner out, which I'm not surprised about. I don't even know why that was a question. Dude had a fucking calf injury. Calf injuries lead to Achilles injuries. So I don't know why you'd even think about doing that. But whoever wins this game, which I feel like it's going to be the Jaguars, is going to win the division because it'll basically give you a 2-game lead until they play each other in the second to last week of the season. They both have good defenses, but it's this is going to be a good game to watch, I think. The Colts defense has not, I don't think, been playing great the last couple weeks. I mean, they only gave up 20 to the Texans, but CJ Stroud's first game back, they gave up 23 to the Chiefs, which they should have won that game. And they lost to the fucking Steelers. I know they beat the Falcons. The Falcons, I feel like their offense is just not really great. And they gave up to 14 to the Titans, which it's the fucking Titans, their ass. Nobody gives a shit about the Titans. And Daniel Jones somehow is playing on a broken leg or a fractured leg or whatever. If I'm the Jaguars, I am blitzing him hard the entire game. And also I saw that, I forget who it was. I think it's, it might be, Armstead and I think it was Trayvon Walker are playing on with broken hands or something. So they're going to have clubs on their hands. And they're playing against a dude that has a broken leg. Don't know how that's going to work out. Going to probably be a rough game for all of them people. I mean, you're playing on a broken leg. I don't even know how that's a thing. But the Colts, they really need to win this game. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, I believe. Yeah, lost 3 of their last 4. I mean, they're 2-3 in their last 5, but one of them is against Titans. I mean, everybody's going to beat the Titans. But the Colts also have a tough schedule coming up. I mean, they have 5 losable games the rest of the year. Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers, Jags again, and Houston again. It's not good for them. They will probably drop at least 2 or 3 of those games, especially if Daniel Jones is still playing on a broken leg, which I don't know how it's going to heal if he's playing. But I picked the Jaguars to win this division at the beginning of the year, so I wouldn't be mad if the Jaguars came and won. That was sharpness up here. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be an amazing game because the injuries. I mean, Daniel Jones, I feel like the Jaguars could blow them out if Daniel Jones is not playing like Daniel Jones was playing. He also, the last 4 or so weeks, has reverted back to Giants Daniel Jones, which is turn the ball over a lot and play like shit. The Colts are also playing one of the better run defenses in the league. I mean, they're first in yards allowed rushing per game. The Jaguars are. And Jonathan Taylor historically does not play good against the Jaguars. I think I saw a stat that his whole career against the Jaguars, he has 600 yards or something against them. Could be wrong and misquoting what I saw. But I know Jonathan Taylor does not play good against the Jaguars. And, they play twice in the next 5 weeks or 4 weeks. So it's going to be, both of those games are going to probably be for the division unless the Colts end up losing to the 49ers and the Seahawks. Because if that's the case, the Jaguars are playing the Jets, which they should win, and then the Broncos, which they probably will lose. But we'll see what happens in the next week. But yeah, that'll be a good one. Me personally, I will be watching the Bengals game on my TV and then have every other game on Red Zone on my phone. Or maybe bring up another TV to watch it on. But it'll be that'll definitely be a good game if people aren't playing like they're injured. And then we're going to move on to probably the worst game that could have possibly ever been put on the schedule. The Titans and the Browns. I know Shador is playing this week, but this game somehow the Browns are favored by 4. I don't even feel like 4 points. There's a chance 4 points could not be scored this entire game. They're two of the worst offenses in the league. The Titans are last in scoring, last in passing yards, third to last in rushing yards a game. Or no, fourth, my bad. And then the Browns are third. God, I can't even speak. Third to last in points per game, second to last in yards per game, second to last in passing yards a game, and and they are the 5th worst rushing team in the league. So it's going to be bad. I think this is a game, though, where Myles Garrett probably could get like 2 or 3 sacks and get really close to the record. Because I think if he gets 2 or 3 this week, let's just say he does, I think he'd be, like 2 or 3 off of the record. Shador, this is a week that if he wants to be the starter next year, which there's a slim chance of that already happening anyways, he needs to play good this game. If he plays bad against the Titans, then there's almost no way that the Browns, I feel like, should even think about playing him going forward. But I think it's going to be a defensive battle and a special teams battle. The Titans somehow, as bad as they are, seem to have one of the best special teams units in the league, probably because Chimere Adike, I think he is like first in the league in all-purpose yards somehow. It's probably because he averages like fucking 35 yards per kick return and probably a lot on punt returns as well. But going to be a terrible game. There's not really much to talk about. There is one other thing I did want to talk about with this game, not even really with the game, but apparently Deshaun Watson's practice window is now getting opened, which, I mean, when you saw him play last, there's like almost no way you'd want to play him. He looked terrible, and I feel like another year of not playing is going to make him look even worse, especially coming in. I mean, the Browns' offensive line has not been good. Historically, they do have a good offensive line, but it has not been good this year. Not at all. And Shador makes it look even worse when he's holding the ball for 10 minutes before he throws it. But, yeah, don't really got much to say on that game. I mean, picking this game, probably would say the Browns win, but it'll probably be low scoring game. And then the next one on the list, we got the Commanders and the Vikings. 2 shitty games, or teams. But Jaden Daniels also is playing, so that will make this game a little better. I mean, the Commanders just haven't been good this season. I know that Jaden's only played like 4 or 5 games, maybe, if that. But the Vikings are also really bad. 9 is coming back this week. You know, the GOAT, 9. Averages like 100 fucking yards passing a game. But he is probably, like, this should be a game either he plays really good or it's a week that the Commanders, their defense somehow looks good. Like, there's really no in between, I feel like, because the Commanders have one of the worst defenses in the league, and the Vikings have one of the worst offenses in the league, and probably the worst quarterback in the league. Well, in terms of how he's played. I mean, he hasn't played a crazy amount, but still. Damn, my throat. I mean, the Commanders, how their season's going anyways, I think they'd want to lose this game, but could be wrong. I mean, they don't have a chance to make the playoffs. The wild card is their only shot to get in, and they would need to win. They couldn't even get in, I don't think. They might be eliminated from the playoffs. Yeah, I think they might be. The only way they could win is if everyone in the division lost the rest of their games, and then they win the rest of their games, I think, because they'd have to win their division. But the Commanders, I think they've lost like 7 in a row. Doesn't help that Mariota has been playing not great. I mean, they just don't. They're not a great team. They can't run the ball really good. Terry's been hurt most of the year. He's actually looked really good when he's came back and played. In the beginning of the year, he did not look very good. But I mean, both of the defenses aren't good. But their offenses also haven't been helping them. I mean, when you're you're scoring as the Vikings scoring 18 points a game and the Commanders scoring 21 points a game, it's going to be hard to win, especially when I feel like they turn the ball over. The Vikings turn the ball over a pretty good amount. I mean, last game they had 4 picks, which I know Brosmer played, but J.J. McCarthy's also kind of been turnover prone as well when he's been playing. And the Vikings also can't really run the ball, which is surprising because they got Jordan Mason and but I think Darishaw's also been hurt a lot this year as well. But it's probably not going to be a great game. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels looks good in his first game back. I think the Commanders should win this game unless they're telling him to lose because they don't want to win. Jaden Daniels is back, so I mean, I think that makes for a fun game to watch, anyways, because Jaden Daniels is a fun quarterback to watch. But the Vikings are also coming off of a game where they scored 0 points. In the last game that JJ played, they scored 6. So not good for them. Not good for either team, really. They both have not looked good, and it's probably not going to be a good game to watch. Yeah, not really much on that game. Not a great game. And we'll get to a game that's actually probably not going to be a decent game, but it'll probably be a fun game to watch. The Seahawks and the Falcons, 2 of the better pass rushing teams in the league, and defenses in general. Even though the Falcons' offense has not helped them at all, their defense still has been playing really good. They're 4th and 3rd in the league in sacks, but the Seahawks, they don't allow rushing yards, which is not good for Bijan because that means that they can just sell out on the pass if they really need to. Or they could just sell out on the run because Kirk Cousins didn't look good last week. I think he only threw 1 touchdown. I think he threw like 2 picks or something. Maybe no, he didn't throw any picks because they played the fucking Jets, and the Jets don't pick the ball off. He only had 1 touchdown though. Bijan and Algier both scored, but this I think sorry, about to die. I think Kirk Cousins is probably gonna have a bad time this week. I mean, Drake London's out again, which is bad. Bad for Kirk Cousins because his number 1 receiver he's got to throw to is Darnell Mooney or Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's basically a receiver. And the Seahawks defense has just been playing unreal all year. So it's going to be a tough one for the Falcons. I mean, there's probably a good chance they get blown out, but last time I said a team was going to get blown out, they lost. So, because I said the Rams were going to blow out the Panthers, and then somehow the Panthers won because Bryce Young had one of his crazy good games. And Sam Darnold, I feel like too, he's going to have a tough game because the Falcons get at the quarterback, and every time it seems like that there is pressure on Sam Darnold, he starts going back to Jets Sam Darnold where he's seeing ghosts and just plays like dog shit. And JSN's coming off of one of his worst games as a pro, actually his worst game as a pro. So I think there's a good chance that JSN probably has a bounce back game, but they're also playing a really good secondary because they got Jesse Bates. They have who's the other guy? Xavier Watts, AJ Terrell. I mean, the Falcons have a good secondary, but AJ Terrell probably be on JSN the whole game would be my guess. Either that or they're going to try and bracket him or something. Because they haven't really been getting the ball to Rashid Shaheed since they traded for him a lot. I know they tried to a little bit last week to like get him more involved, like with handing the ball off to him and stuff. But they haven't really been getting him into the game too much, like to do anything. And I think Seattle this game. What the hell was that? Yeah, it's probably going to be a defensive game. I think Seattle probably should win though. It'd probably be a lower scoring game. I don't even know if the Falcons. There's like a good chance the Falcons don't score a lot of points unless Bijan plays really good. But it's not going to be great. I mean, the Seahawks need to win this game though because they're in. I think they're second in the division right now to the Rams. They might be. I don't know. No, because Rams beat them. And I think they play the Rams again, too. Yeah. So, they have this game. It's a winnable game. Then they play the Colts. I think they should win that game, especially if Daniel Jones is still hurt, which he should be. He fucking broke his leg. play Seattle or play the Rams, which they did not look good last time they played the Rams, play the Panthers, and then the 49ers. So they got some tough games coming up, but I mean, they're winnable games because the Seahawks are so fucking good. Their defense is unreal. But I mean, they're 7-point favorites in this game. I think it'll probably be tighter than that. I don't think it'll go over either. It's 44.5. I know it's not crazy high, but it's also like two really good defensive teams. I mean, the Seahawks, the last game that their defense played really bad. Not even like bad in general, but they gave up 24 to the Titans because in garbage time, the Titans just started scoring points. But I think for Seattle to win this game, they definitely need to be able to run the ball, which has not been the case for a while, I feel like. I know they average 116 a game, but I feel like they need Kenneth Walker or Charbonnet, either one, to actually go out and do something. I feel like for the most part, they're averaging like 50 yards apiece, would be my guess. It might not even be that much. But yeah, this is a big game for the NFC West, and it will be a big factor on who probably is winning the division, because if the Rams play like they did last week and drop another game, there's a good chance that the Seattle could win the division if they end up winning a couple more games. And then we're going to move on to the 4 o'clock games, I believe. Yeah, the 4 o'clock games. So the first one that we're going to talk about, Broncos and the Raiders. So, Broncos are 7-point favorites. Feel like that is a little generous to the Raiders, because I know this is a division game, but the Raiders are so fucking bad. I know last time they played it was 10-7, but Bo Nix has also been looking a little bit better. Oh, that was only a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? That was literally like a month ago. I mean, I guess they could play decent, but I just don't see them playing that bad against the Raiders again, especially because the Raiders just look like shit. I mean, I don't even remember last time the Raiders won. They're one of those 2-win teams that probably they might not win another game the rest of the year. I mean, they play Denver, Philly, Houston, the Giants, and the Chiefs. There's a good chance that they finish the season with 2 wins. But this does feel like a game that Bo Nix needs to play good in, especially because of how bad the Raiders have been playing. Their defense is not good. I mean, they have Max Crosby, obviously, which he gets at the quarterback. We all know that. But you got to play good this game if you're Bo Nix. And it's a must win for the Broncos as well, because I think they're 2 games above the Chargers. And I don't know if do the Chargers play this week? They might play Monday or something. But yeah, the Broncos have to win this game. If they don't win it, I would be shocked. Especially because Geno has been absolutely terrible this year. Probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the league besides J.J. McCarthy. But I think there's a good chance. I don't know how many times they have this season, but that the Raiders get shut out this season. I know they have once against the Chiefs, but there's a good chance that they lose this game and don't score a point. And also, the Raiders, they're playing against the best defense in the league, in my opinion. I mean, the Broncos are their defense is fucking elite. And the Raiders' offense has been piss poor basically all season. I mean, Brock Bowers is the leading receiver, and I think he missed like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 2. Could be wrong. But the Broncos, their defense needs to bounce back, especially after that game against the Commanders where they almost lost. They won on a batted ball in overtime for a 2-point conversion, because Nick Benito jumped up and smacked that shit right back into Geno's face. But Geno also is probably going to be in trouble this game, because the Broncos obviously are the best team in the league at rushing the quarterback. They weren't that great last week because Mariota was getting the ball out in about half a second every play. But, I mean, very healthy on defense right now, and it's going to be a rough one for the Raiders. Don't come back to bite me, please, because I have said this before, and then it did not go my way. But I also think that Talanoa Huafunga will probably have a really good game. I feel like that a lot of the games where they are getting pressure, they bring him up in the box and blitz him. And the dude is also just all over the field. He looks like fucking Troy Polamalu because of his hair, but he is just an absolute baller. I think he still has long hair, but he's a badass. So good. I don't know why the 49ers let him go. I know they got Mustafa, but I would have personally tried to keep him. Yeah, I mean, not really much on this game. I think RJ Harvey should have a really good game. I'm hoping he does for my fantasy because, last night Jahmyr Gibbs really helped me out. He started me off the week with 40 points. Love to see that. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on that game. We're not going to talk too much about it because the Broncos should win. And then the next game we have is the Bears and the Packers. So, this is a game for the division. This is a game that the Bears need to win to basically exercise some demons of beating the Packers. They seem to always lose against the Packers in recent memory. I know they won. I think they split last year, I believe. But I think that this is a game that the Bears need to win. Their offense has been playing really good. And their defense has been getting turnovers. They don't, I think they're first in the league in turnovers, but they do allow a lot of yards and they do allow points. But it's also the oldest rivalry in football. And these two teams hate each other a lot. It's probably the biggest rivalry in the NFL. And both of them in recent weeks have been playing really good. The Bears have won 5 straight, probably a little more than that. I only see the last 5 on here. Let me check. Let's see. Yeah, they've won 5 straight and they lost to Baltimore. Yeah. So, I think the Bears should win because their offense seems to be kind of moving lately. And they're coming off a game where they just had 200 and fucking 50 rushing yards against the Eagles, one of the best defenses in the league. But Jordan Love, he's going to have to limit turnovers this game. I know he doesn't turn the ball over a crazy amount, but the Bears also getting healthy. Jalen Johnson, he's back. And Deshaun Wright, dude has the longest arms I've ever seen on an NFL player. He's 6'3" or something, and he looks like a wide receiver. But I think Jordan Love, if they're winning this game, he can't have any turnovers. None. Or in general, the Packers can't have any turnovers. When the Bears don't turn the ball over is when they seem to not play as good. But I don't even think that they had any turnovers against the Eagles and they still won. But, and the Bears are going to have to get Micah Parsons out of the game. Chip him, double team him, do whatever you got to do. I know they have other good pass rushers, but Micah Parsons is different compared to other pass rushers. I mean, dude is just a freak of nature. I think if they can, they would hope that he lines up on Darnell Wright's side because Darnell Wright has been one of the best offensive linemen in the league, I think, this year, just from what I've seen. And hopefully he's on. If you're a Bears fan, you're hoping that Micah Parsons has Darnell Wright on him. If not, I don't know who the Bears left tackle is off the top of my head, but if he's on that side, it's going to be rough because they're not Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright's massive, and he's good. But, yeah, I mean, the Bears' defense getting healthy is really going to help them out this game, especially because the Packers' receivers, they're just you never know which receiver is going to do good or if they're going to do good. I mean, Christian Watson, he's been playing really good. I think he's had a touchdown every game since he's been back. And then Dontavian Wicks last week had 2 touchdowns against the Lions, which was a big win for the Packers because if they win this game, then they go to first in the division, and that tie is really helping them out. But yeah, the Packers, we all know they have an inconsistent offense. It's actually been looking decent the last couple weeks, but if they go back to like having a bad offense this week, then they're not winning because the Bears, I know their defense isn't good, but their offense is good. And I know the Packers defense is good, but you gotta gotta be able to hold them, and you gotta make them throw the ball. Caleb Williams is not very accurate. I think he's completing like 58% of his passes this year, which is not good. And I think last week against the Eagles, I know they won, but he also, I think, had like 47% completions that game or something, which is really fucking bad because he was like 17 to 36 or something. You have to, if you're the Packers, you have to make them throw the ball. I think Rome is playing. I'm pretty sure he's playing. Oh, no. Rome is not playing this week. So it's going to be, that might make me change my mind. Yeah, never mind. I think the Packers are going to win. I thought Rome was playing this week. He is not. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Packers. I think the Bears, if they do win, it is a big win for them. They need to win it. I think it's going to be a really tight toss-up of a game because I don't know what Packers team's going to show up on offense. And they're 6.5-point favorites. I don't really get that either. I feel like they've barely beat any team by that much. No, they've won their last 3 by that much, actually. But they've also lost two of them as well. But, I mean, this is basically like a game for the division, even though they play twice in the next 3 weeks. The Bears, they got a tough schedule the rest of the year, and this is a game that they need to win. The Packers also have a tough schedule the rest of the year because they play the Bears, the Broncos, the Bears, the Ravens, and the Vikings. Division game's obviously going to be tighter, but the Bears, they even got a harder schedule. I mean, they play the Packers this week, then the Browns, then the Packers, 49ers, and then the Lions. You got to hope, if you're a Bears fan, that they win this game because it would be very big. I think it's in Lambeau. Yes, 20 degrees. It's probably in Lambeau. But this will be a fucking good game. I think it'll be a good game, be a fun one to watch. Hopefully there's maybe some fights in it. You'd love to see when there's fights, especially when people start punching helmets. That shit is so funny. And then I'm not going to say a blowout this time, but the last 4 o'clock game, the Rams and the Cardinals. Matt Stafford, he needs to bounce back from a bad game last week. The Rams in general, their defense needs to bounce back from a bad game last week because you just let Bryce Young drop 31 on your fucking forehead. He just dropped his nuts right in your face. And the Cardinals, they sling the shit out of the ball. The Rams have a decent pass defense. They mostly just don't allow points. Just tighten up when they get in the red zone. But I think the Rams should win, and I would pick the Rams. But like I said, division game, and the Rams just lost to the fucking Panthers somehow. So you never know, but I think that the Rams should win. And hopefully Devontae Adams keeps up his touchdown streak because I have him in fantasy, need him to do it again. But like they should have won last week. I said they should have won last week. I said they were going to blow them out. They did not. Not a good sign for me on predicting games. If I predict a game, probably go the opposite way, unless it's really obvious who's going to win. But I thought it was obvious last week that the Rams would beat the Panthers, and that did not happen. But I think the Rams D should play good because they can pretty much just like pin their ears back and get at the Cardinals because the Cardinals haven't been a good rushing team for a while now. I know Bam Knight basically got the starting job now, but also no Marvin Harrison. So you basically just have to cover Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, and that should be good. But Michael Wilson also, the last time that there was no Marvin Harrison, he had like 16 catches for like 180 or 140 yards or some shit. You got to hope that Michael Wilson has another great game. But we'll see. This is going to be another tight game. I mean, a lot of good games this week. And it's mostly a lot of good games because it's all division games. Well, not all, but a lot of division games. I think that Jacoby's going to be in some trouble this game though, because if I'm the Rams, I'm just sending everybody at him the entire time. Because Jacoby, he's been averaging like fucking 300 yards passing a game, I feel like, but they just don't score. And when they do score, it's because they're losing. Because they've lost 4 in a row. Last one they won was against the Cowboys, but the Cowboys looked really bad before all of the weeks before that, and that was right before they also got Gwen Williams. So, guess we'll see. But I definitely would be picking the Rams. I would not take the spread because it is a division game, and we've seen the Rams when, everybody thought they were the best team in the league. I still think they're the best team in the league, but you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, which the Panthers, and I thought was one of those games. But the Panthers kept themselves in their playoff race, and now they have a bye week. And also, the teams on byes this week is the Giants, the Panthers, San Francisco, and the Patriots. So we will not be able to see them play, and unfortunate for me, I wish they were playing the Patriots because I have Drake May in fantasy, and I would love for him to do something. And also, I would love to know this, just me, while I'm thinking about it. How does A.J. Brown all of a sudden start getting the ball an insane amount after I fucking trade him? I know it, and it's not a great trade in hindsight now that he's playing really good, but I traded him straight up for Stephon Diggs. And what the fuck? Like, what has happened? Like, why does that happen? Why does he want to play good after I get rid of him? Okay. Anyways, enough about that. We'll move on to the Sunday night game. This will be a good game, I think. So, Chiefs and the Texans. I personally think that the Texans are going to win this game. They are on like a 5-game win streak, I believe. Or no, 4-game win streak, sorry. 3 of those were with Davis Mills. They also played really good against the Broncos. And I think that was also when they had C.J. Stroud when they played the Broncos. God damn. This fucking weather is just killing me. But honestly, I think I might change my mind and say that I think the Texans probably have the best defense in the league because their defense is fucking ridiculous. Derek Stingley is putting himself out there as maybe the best cornerback in the league. I know Pat Surtain's still out there, but Stingley's been playing unreal. And their whole defense has just been playing ridiculously good. But this game is big for the Texans. They need to win this one to, if they win and the Colts lose, I think they might be in the playoffs, or no, they would be in the playoffs, I think, because they beat the Colts. So they should be in the playoffs, I believe, if they win this game and the Colts lose. Because I don't know if they've played, how many times? They played the Jaguars, I guess, already. Yeah, they beat the Jaguars, actually. I don't know if they won the first game or not against them. I think the Texans should win this game. We'll kind of see with how C.J. Stroud plays when he comes back. But their offense, I know he didn't throw any touchdowns last week, but their offense didn't look terrible with him in. They just need to figure out how to fucking run the ball. I know they haven't had Joe Mixon all year, which is really unfortunate, but Woody Marks hasn't been playing bad. Nick Chubb looked pretty decent last week, especially because Woody Marks got hurt and came back in and all that. But the Chiefs, if they lose this game, there's like almost no way that they make the playoffs in my eyes, because the first team out of the playoffs, if they lose this game, would be the Colts or the Texans, and they both would have 8 wins. If they win this game, then they'd only be 1 out. But that's also if they would be 1 out either way, because the Colts and the Jaguars both have 8 wins. But and the Chargers, the Chargers play Sunday. They have to play Monday. I haven't talked about them yet. Yeah, they do play Monday. But yeah, the Texans, I think, are winning this game just because their defense is so fucking good. I mean, they have one of the best rush defenses in the league. They have one of the best pass defenses in the league. And the Chiefs can't run the ball anyways. So you can basically just rush 4 people the whole game and then just have everybody sit back the entire time. They also are not going to have Jawan Taylor, Trey Smith, and then I think, Josh Simmons is out. So or Simons, I think it's Simmons. But they're going to be, Mahomes is going to be running for his life, I think, this game. Like, he's going to be in some trouble because Will Anderson's really been coming to life the last couple weeks. I know he's played good all season, but I feel like he's been playing a lot better the last couple weeks. But we need to see if you are a Chiefs hater like myself, because I like the Bengals, and we've kind of had a rivalry, but not really with them the last couple years. But you want to see Nico Collins do. What the fuck was that? You want to see Nico Collins do what CeeDee Lamb did to Trent McDuffie, which is absolutely bully him the entire game. He had 3 pass interference penalties against against CD, and some of them CD was catching the ball. If Trent McDuffie does that again, I viewed him myself as one of the better cornerbacks in the league, like probably top 5. But if that happens again against one of these big elite receivers, he's probably gonna have to fall down the rankings just a little bit, because the Chiefs also have just not been playing good. They're 2-5 or 2-3 in the last 5. They beat the Colts, which the Colts have kind of been on a downward spiral anyways. But yeah, and then they beat the Commanders, which they had fucking Mariota. So that'll do it for the games for Sunday. Not going to talk about Monday, obviously, until the Monday episode comes out. And then I think Monday we should have a special guest coming on as well. So, and that special guest is someone we've seen before. So I'm also going to go through some of these games and look at the injury reports real quick, just to get some of these names out there so I remember who's not fucking playing. No Drake London, obviously. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's not playing. Are we fucking dumb? Sauce Gardner's out. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, wait, Jets. Yeah, nobody cares. Alvin Kamara, he's been out like all fucking season. Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, Trey Hendrickson's out, obviously. No Joey Bosa, no Terrell Bernard. Those are big in that game, because Joey Bosa normally goes on the right side of the line, I believe. I know he got a sack on Aaron Rodgers being on the left side, but I feel like most of the time he's on the right side. No, wait. You flip it around. He normally is on the left side, but I feel like he did get a sack on Rodgers when he was on the right side. But I think he's normally playing on the left. And then Terrell Bernard, he runs their defense. I know Matt Milano also does, but I feel like Matt Milano, he was out a lot of the season. And Terrell Bernard is really good. And Spencer Brown also is on the injury report. He's questionable. Dalton Kincaid, questionable, which is bad news for the fucking Bills, because the Bengals are terrible at covering tight ends. No Roma Dunze. No Luke Van Ness. No Devontae Wyatt. Those are some big injuries for the Packers. Obviously, Trey Benson's out. The Rams don't have any injuries. Jesus, that must be nice. A lot of people out for the Cardinals, though. Trey Benson, DeMarcado, Greg Dortch, Marvin Harrison, LJ Collier, Walter Nolan, Max Melton. I mean, lots of injuries for them. That is not good. And then Jawan Taylor, Trey Smith are doubtful. Monday game is the Chargers and the Eagles. That'll be a good one. But yeah, that's pretty much it on those. I need to start the show by saying what I'm going to do, but I just keep forgetting. We are going to do predictions for awards in the NFL real quick. Let me pull up a thing, and I'm going to pick my own of who I think is going to win. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a list of all the awards. Okay. So we're going to go start off, just because this is on this ESPN page, this is their top 3 rookies, and I'll tell you who I think is going to probably, or who should win, in my opinion. So Defensive Rookie of the Year is the first one. So we got Jacob Parrish, the cornerback for the Buccaneers, as their number 3. Number 2 is Carson Schlesinger. I think this has to be before the season. This is after week 4. Well, I'm going to do what I think is going to happen. Carson Schlesinger probably should win it, honestly. Dude has been playing unreal. He easily is one of the better players on the Browns defense. He's very fucking good. This was after week 4. They somehow had fucking Abdul Carter as the number 1 person. Don't know how that's the case. Dude has not done shit all season. And then we got, like I said, this is after week 4. They have Ibuka, Gray Zabel, and Tyler Warren. I think my pick right now would probably be, this is for Offensive Rookie of the Year, by the way, would probably be Ibuka, but Jackson Dart also could be up there. I mean, dude has been balling, but I think he's just missed too many games from injury. Well, not even missed too many games. He's missed like 2, but he's also didn't start the season. I think it'll probably be Ibuka just because he's been playing really fucking good all year. Protector of the Year. Didn't know that was a fucking award. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing it. Coach of the Year. I think a good pick for Coach of the Year might be Liam Cohen. It's either him or maybe D'Amico Ryans, just because of how their season has turned around so quickly, and like they've just looked really fucking good. But if I was picking, I'd probably say Liam Cohen. And then Defensive Player of the Year, it's got to be Myles Garrett, right? I mean, dude has just been playing unreal. I would say Myles Garrett, maybe Derek Stingley, or like a Nick Benito or something. But Nick Benito can't win if Myles Garrett is in the league, because Myles Garrett's been playing so damn good. Offensive Player of the Year, honestly, could be Jahmyr Gibbs, but I think it's probably going to be JSN. Jonathan Taylor would have been my pick, but he has also fell off a cliff lately. I don't think he's been playing good the last like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Because I know he balled against the Falcons. That was 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah. So I'd probably say JSN, and then maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. James Cook could be up there, but I'd probably have to go with JSN. And then MVP gotta be Matt Stafford. He's just been playing unfucking real. I know he just had a bad week, but he also leads the league in touchdowns by like 6, I think, right now. And the dude that was in second is Dak, and Dak just played, and he still is up by like 6 touchdowns. So, Matt Stafford, he's just been playing unreal. The only other really options for that would be Drake May, and then maybe, I don't even know, Drake May, Stafford, and I guess probably JT would be on there. I'd personally give it to Joe Burrow, but can't win them all. But yeah, and then just going to go around and do some other news for some other things. Apparently, there is a real talk around the NBA that Giannis could get traded. I mean, I would probably think about trading him on the Bucks, because you guys are in a down year. Didn't play great last year. And Giannis is getting older, obviously. Everybody is. But if he wants to come to the Celtics, I would take him. That'd be pretty cool, But, yeah, if he does get traded, that would be weird. But you also, if you're going to trade him, I think now would be the time to do it, because you would get so much back for him that it would really, really help your future out. Like, you could probably get, like, Paul George got traded for what, like 5 first-round picks or some stupid shit like that? You could probably get so much back. I think Rudy Gobert got traded for like 4 first-round picks. If you're trading Giannis, that dude would get you probably 10 first-round picks, or maybe like 5 and like some players. You'd be able to draft like Bronny's kids if you traded Giannis. And then, there's one other thing that I am going to go over, because I'm not going to go over this on Wednesday because it doesn't make any sense to. But LeBron, he lost his streak. He had 8 points, had a chance to take a shot to get his streak going, keep his streak going, but he passed to Rhea Hachimura in the corner, and he had a game-winning shot, or something. I think it was a game-winning shot. So can't be mad at LeBron for making the right play. I mean, he always does for the most part. What are you going to do? I mean, the dude's 41, going to be 42 in like 30 days or something. So, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but, I mean, you're not going to do that forever, even LeBron. Because Father Time is clearly starting to catch up with him, but, I mean, he's 42. Most people, it starts to hit them at around like 37, 38 years old. And then Chris Paul gets dismissed from the Clippers. I don't know if I talked about that before. I know I talked about him retiring, but he got dismissed from the team completely in his like farewell tour to the NBA. They dismissed him from the team. And it's just hilarious to think about because it's literally his last year. It's on the team where he probably played the best his career and really like, because I know he played good on the Hornets, but he really like brought his name way up once he's on the Clippers because they were always winning. They always had a good team, had Doc Rivers. Like, it's just crazy that they were just like, yeah, we're gonna let you go. And then players are acting like they're surprised. But I've seen things that were like, he talks to players like he's like, I think Chris Paul would be a good coach. I don't think he will though, but he talks to players apparently like he is the coach, and like it's obviously he wants them to play better because it's his last season. He doesn't want to fucking be the worst team in the West in his last season, but shit happens, you know. You go play for the Clippers when they have a dude that plays fucking once every 4 games, and James Harden, who's not in his prime anymore, but he can show obviously that he still has his shit when he needs to. You're not going to be winning too many games. And then the last thing that I wanted to go over, I just fucking spit. I don't know how that happened. The Premier League games for this weekend and the ones that happened on Wednesday, I was talking about in the last episode. Man City was winning 3-1 at halftime, and that game finished 5-4. Scared me. Didn't like it. But the games that just had happened, let's see. Let's go back to week 14. Is this? Yeah. Everton beat Bournemouth. I thought that was going to end up being a draw. Newcastle and Spurs draw. I'm trying to think who I picked. I picked Man City to win. I picked that to be a draw, Everton and Bournemouth. Picked Newcastle to beat Spurs. That did not happen. Nottingham Forest, I said, was going to beat Wolves because Wolves have not won a fucking game this year somehow. And it's match week 15. So, don't know how that works. I don't know how they haven't won a game. They're literally about to get relegated. That would be nuts. Because I feel like they've been in the Premier League for a while. And then Crystal Palace, I said they beat Burnley because Burnley's terrible. Aston Villa beat Brighton 4-3. I believe I said Aston Villa's going to win. Arsenal beat Brentford 2-0. No fucking surprise there. Sunderland and Liverpool draw. I said Liverpool would win, but I didn't. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on with them. Leeds beats Chelsea 3-1. That is nuts. That could have maybe got them out of relegation, and it did get them out of relegation. That is crazy. I did not know they fucking did that to Chelsea. And then Man U and West Ham draw. So old buddy's gonna have to keep his hair for a little bit longer. But we will move on to this next one for match week 15, and I will give my prediction on who I think is going to win these games and go over the Man City one because I'm going to be scared for this week. Arsenal Villa play this week. Really would love to see Arsenal draw. Really would love to see them lose. I don't know if they'll lose, but Villa's been playing pretty good. They're now 3rd in the Prem. I think Arsenal will win though, which is unfortunate. And then because I mean, dude, their defense is so good. They don't allow goals, like ever. And then Spurs, Brentford. I think Spurs should win, but Spurs also have not been good this season either. They just haven't been playing good. Newcastle, Burnley. I think Newcastle should win that one, and if they do win it, it would take them up from 12th to bare minimum 9th. I mean, goal difference there 1, so they would go up to at least 9th because Liverpool plays. They probably play Sunday, don't they? No, they don't. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They're going to win. There's no fucking way they lose. But yeah, Newcastle win against Burnley. And then Man City should be Sunderland, but I mean, it's been a weird year. I mean, Sunderland's 6th in the Premier League right now. I would say the Man City should win. I could see it being a draw, but I think Man City should win. Everton, Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest should win. I know they're really bad this year, and Brighton has been pretty good this year, but I'm going to pick Nottingham Forest to win. Not all the fucking teams are going to, soccer is so hard to predict. Chelsea, Bournemouth. Bournemouth just lost to Everton. There's just no fucking way, right? Like, there's no way Chelsea lose to Bournemouth and Leeds back-to-back games. So I'm going to take Chelsea. Leeds, Liverpool. I'm going to say that Leeds win because Liverpool just fucking drew with Sunderland and they lost to Nottingham Forest a couple weeks ago. And I forget who else they played, but they lost to them as well. They've been losing a lot. Let's just say that. West Ham, Brighton. Brighton's winning. West Ham is terrible. I think they've won like three. Yeah, they've won 3 games on the season. They're not good. If Brighton lose this game, that would be really shitty for them because they would probably drop a decent amount because, I mean, I don't know how you would lose to them. And then Fulham, Crystal Palace, probably give it to Crystal Palace. No, I'm taking Fulham. I'm taking the boys. Fulham. They need to get out of 15th place. Yeah, Crystal Palace has been playing decent though, but I'm taking Fulham. Where the fuck is Crystal Palace? They're 5th. Jesus. And then the game on Monday, Man U and Wolves. If Man U loses this game, that would be the funniest thing I've ever seen because they would give Wolves their first win of the season. But if anything, I would say they would probably draw. But I'm picking Man U to win because if they lose this game, that would be an embarrassment to lose against Wolves. But I think that is going to do it for this episode. And as always, go to wannaparlay.com. Use promo code JMP. That's wannaparlay.com. WANNA parlay.com. WANNA parlay.com. Use promo code JMP. 100% deposit match. $10 to $250. Go on there, do it. Got the championship games for college this weekend. We got a good slate of NFL football. There's Premier League games. There's NBA games. Everything is this weekend. Hockey, all that shit. Go out there. Go get you some money, man. Go get some money. And then, like I said, gonna have a special guest on Monday. Hopefully, unless he changes his mind, but we'll see. But yeah, that should do it. And thank everybody for watching. Go follow us on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching this, it's on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. Just go follow us on there. Give us 5 stars, subscribe, all that shit. Love everybody that watches. Thank you for watching. And yeah, we will see you on Monday. Everybody have a good weekend. Love you.